Hello everyone, Saida here. I hope you all are doing well. So this video is going to be about angels, and I'm really excited to share this because I've actually never made a video about angels and how to work with them. So I'm really excited to share my tips with you on how to work with angels more easily. Okay, so now I'm just going to say right here and right now that angels do not discriminate. They do not pick and choose particular people that are of a certain religion or a certain race or a certain belief system, whatever. They will work with anyone that needs their help. So there really is no, um, they're not picky. Okay, that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. However, the tips that I'm going to be providing for you today are going to be tips that you can implement to increase your perception of them. So that's the thing. They are willing to work with any and everybody, pretty much. They are archangels specifically are supposed to work with humankind and our reality. That's specifically what they're meant to do. So they don't specify who they're going to work with, based on where they're from or whatever. But in order to increase your ability to feel and sense them, these tips will be helpful to you, okay? So, the first thing that you want to do in order to increase your perception of angels and work with them more easily is raise your vibration, okay? So, this is something that you probably hear a lot on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. However, I cannot stress the importance of this tip, okay? Because angels are at a vibration that's faster and it's a little bit more difficult to perceive, especially for us on this earth where obviously we're in a reality where things are physical, things are more dense, uh, but in their dimension, things are a little bit faster. The vibration is a bit quicker. Okay, so it's not as easy to perceive as this physical reality. And considering the society that we live in, we haven't been encouraged from the beginning to perceive that kind of energy. Okay, so we got to start working on it through our practices. So the way you raise your vibration is one, you change your diet. Now this isn't in any particular order, but one, you want to change your diet. Okay, so if you eat a lot of fast food and if you eat a lot of high fat foods, you want to start looking into that and decreasing the quality of food that you're eating. Okay, because everything has energy, everything is vibration. Okay, so including food. So a lot of processed foods that you get out on the street, fast foods, a lot of them are like dead foods. They really don't have much life. There isn't a lot of care that's being put into them. And I have found that along my path, along my journey, that I've become more sensitive to food. Now, I'm a huge foodie. I love to eat. However, as I started to open up spiritually, there are certain things that I either can't eat at all anymore, or certain things that I really have to be careful and eat in moderation. Even those foods that would be considered healthy, if they're not sourced properly, they will affect me. So I have to be mindful of that. And the same thing may apply to you. So you want to start changing your diet. Uh, Look at your food sensitivities. I'm lactose intolerant, so I have to be careful with the amount of dairy that I eat. Okay, if you're sensitive to certain preservatives or certain additives in food, you may want to look into that. If you are sensitive to sugar, which I am, can't eat too much sugar, you want to look into reducing your sugar intake, especially because that can numb you in terms of your ability to perceive higher energies. Okay, so look into that. Also, be mindful of what you watch. This is another way to shift your vibration. So, watching things that are really sad, heartbreaking, and make you angry are a no no, okay? And if you do watch these things, I'm not telling you to be all fluffy and, lighty all the time. I don't know what word to use, but I'm not asking you to not be realistic. But what I am asking you to do is not focus too much of your attention on those things that make you feel angry or make you feel even worse, powerless. Okay. So you want to be mindful of when you watch the news. Okay. If you do watch the news, try your best to just observe, not take things too personally, and to not allow yourself to get so immersed in what you're looking at or what you're reading that it really starts to affect you on a deep level. okay? Especially if you're already a sensitive person, you want to be careful of what you're looking at. You also want to be careful of the music that you're listening to. And we'll get into that more so in a second, okay? The next thing you want to do to shift your vibration is to be mindful of your thoughts, okay? So, this might be something that takes some practice, okay? Because we don't always realize what we're thinking about and the programs that we have running in our head, okay? So we may think negatively about ourselves. We may expect the worst for our life. We may assume the worst is going to happen or is already in play at the moment. So we want to be careful of those kinds of thoughts and those kinds of emotions that we're feeding. So, how I like to make sure that my thoughts are in order is I like to do affirmations. So, you want to affirm what it is that you would like to see, what it is that you would like to experience, okay? So in the morning, I affirm that I am a being of love, okay? I am love, love is me. I am the embodiment of unconditional divine love. I like to say thank you for the love that is already in my life, from the love for my friends, my family members, the divine. So saying thank you and being in a state of gratitude raises your vibration also, and it helps to keep your thoughts in order. It helps to bring you into the present, okay? And let's see. So you want to start affirming what you would like to see. Now, if you find that you're having some difficulty with your affirmations, pay attention to how you feel. If you find that when you say the affirmations, you don't believe it, or you're having issues with really accepting what you're affirming, then you may want to start looking a little bit deeper into yourself and seeing, okay, where are these beliefs coming from? And why am I having such a hard time accepting good for myself? I actually have a video on that, on affirmations. So you want to check that out on my channel? You can. Um, so the next thing that you want to do is to raise your vibration is to surround yourself in different colors of light. So a lot of people like to use white light. Sometimes I use white light. I surround myself in that. It's protective and it's pure. But you can also do gold light. Okay, that's very grounding as well as protective, and it is actually a very strong angelic color. You can also use violet light, which is also a strong angelic color. It's purifying, okay, and it's protective as well. So have fun with it, play around, but surrounding yourself in this light, your body, mind, and spirit can pick up on these things, okay, and it shifts your vibration pretty quickly. Um, so I want to move on. There are many different ways to raise your vibration, and I'm just giving you some ways that you can work with, and I could keep this under a certain time frame, okay? But the next thing you want to do to help yourself perceive the angels more easily is to meditate, okay? You may also hear this a lot, but it really is important, mainly because it helps to open you up. So it opens up your sense of perception. It helps you to be more open to higher energies because when you're still, you're more able to perceive those energies more easily, as opposed to when you're running around doing things and you're distracted. And actually, when you're running around doing things like that, you are ungrounded, you're not present, okay? And it can be, and you're somewhat disconnected from your body in a sense. So when you can sit down and give yourself some time to focus on your breath, to be mindful of your body, that really helps to, one, ground the mind so you're not spacey and your consciousness is not in different places and in thinking about different things. You could just be mindful of the present moment. Sorry, I'm getting over this friggin' sinus infection thing. I got sick 2 times back to back. It's crazy. But so meditation brings you out of your head and more mindfully into your heart or into your gut. You know, being aware of all these things is important, okay? And it opens yourself up so you can get in touch with your own feelings, okay? Which brings me to my next point, okay? And this is important for angelic perception because this is the way that they're going to get in touch with you when you start to work with them. Is you want to start listening to your body. That's the third thing. Start paying attention to how you feel, okay? So besides being mindful of your thoughts, you want to be mindful of your feelings and the sensations in your body. Okay, so this is important because the angels, when you start to work with them, will begin to communicate with you through your thoughts, through your feelings, through the sensations of your body. However, what I've noticed on my path is that, may be different for you, but I have noticed that human beings, because it's easier for them to pay attention to what they're feeling in their body. So if they feel like a tightness in their stomach, or if they feel a squeezing in their heart, or if they feel like tension in their head, that is going to capture your attention a little bit more than a thought that enters into your mind, because a lot of people dismiss thoughts that pop into their head. They think they're imagining it, they think that they're making it up. However, if you're focusing on the sensations in your body, which I feel for humans it's a little bit easier to do that. It's a little bit easier to tap into that. Then you'll have a clear sense of what your angelic guides are trying to tell you. So if you start paying attention to your body, whether it feels tense or whether it feels relaxed, more open, you may feel a lightness, a brightness in your body. That's going to help you a lot, because that's how they're going to start communicating with you. Okay. So the next thing that you want to do is to start working on perceiving the angels more readily, is you want to make them a priority. Okay, so you want to start focusing on them more. So this is very important, because whatever you focus on the most is what you're going to see more of in your life. You're going to see it reflected in your life. So the more you focus on the angels, the more you're going to draw into your life that energy. So you could do this through either looking at their pictures. There's some beautiful artwork out there. You can do this by looking at their pictures. You can do this by listening to music that reminds you of them. So this is what I was talking about with the music. Listening to music that reminds you of them. So you could do like listen to angelic choir music. Even if it's not what they sound like, it reminds you of them. So that's the important thing. Um, I personally like to listen to Hebrew mantras, and there are several Hebrew mantras out there that invoke the angelic frequency. And I could post a link down in the description box, and you can go right to that and listen to it. And you'll be able to feel the shift when you start to listen to this music. Because what it does is that it puts you in the vibration that is resonant with the angels. So if you listen to it, you'll be able to perceive them more easily. What you can also do is pray more, okay? Ask the angels before you go to bed, ask them to visit you at night, okay? Because when you're at night, when it's nighttime and when you're about to go to sleep, and when you are sleeping, it's a lot easier for them to come into your energy and work with you, because you're a lot more open, you're more relaxed, okay? Then that's typically when you're able to perceive any kind of higher vibration, is when you're relaxed, which is also why I recommended meditation. Okay. So the next thing that you want to do and this step is essential. It's actually the last thing that I want to share. But the last thing that you want to do to be able to work with the angels is to call them in. Now, like I said, you can call in the angels just any way you want, any time of the day, whatever it is that you're doing. Don't feel like you have to have like a certain setting to be able to ask them for help. However, if you want to start feeling their energy more easily, this practice I feel like is essential, okay? So what you want to do is be in a space where you can't be distracted. That's essential. You can't be distracted wherever you are. Focus your attention on a spot on the wall or just on your body. You can focus on your heart too. But it's important that you do not fidget. So, what you don't want to do is start this process and you're, picking up your lip gloss, you're getting a bottle of water. So, you don't want your attention to go off in different directions. You want to be focused, okay? So you don't want to hurt yourself, but just don't do other things when you're doing this. If anything, focus on your breath. Take a few deep breaths in and out, okay? And then what you want to do is have an idea of the angel that you want to call in, okay? So easy one to start with is one of the 4 archangels. Let's say Archangel Michael. A lot of people know who that is, okay? So what you want to do is call in Archangel Michael. So you could say, I call upon Archangel Michael from the highest vibration of universal light and unconditional love. And you say that again. I call upon Archangel Michael from the highest vibration of universal light and unconditional love. I call upon Archangel Michael from the highest vibration of universal light and unconditional love. So you want to do this at least 3 times, or until you start to feel the energy shift, okay? And if you take the steps that I've given you, you will begin to feel a shift in your energy, okay? When you start to call in the angel. So from this point, once you start to feel the shift, now you want to be mindful of how you feel in that moment. How, like, do you feel different? Does the environment feel different? Do you feel light? Do you feel like a bubbling kind of energy? Because when the angels start to come in and they are in the vibration where they feel like you're ready to perceive them, you're going to start to feel things change, okay? So you want to pay attention to any differences in the environment once you start to call them in. Now, when you do call them in and you start to feel their energy shift, thank them for their presence and ask them what you want them to help you with. However, do not beg, okay? Do not beg them for their help, and do not place yourself in a position of victimhood, okay? Not just because you're working with angels, but this is in any sense of when you're trying to bring something into your life. You don't want to be in a position of, my life sucks, and this isn't fair, and it's not to say that you don't feel that way, and that those feelings are not valid. But when you're trying to work with the energies of manifestation, and you're trying to bring an energy in, you don't want to be in that state, because that is in complete opposition to the energy of the fabric of the universe, okay? So you want to be in a position of power. You want to be in a position of acknowledging your oneness with the divine. So this is true. This is why I recommend the affirmations as well, because you have to get your mind in alignment with the highest levels of truth. And the highest levels of truth are not that you are a victim, okay? The highest levels of truth are not that your life sucks, okay? It may be difficult, but everyone goes through their difficulties and things in life, and it may suck. It may feel that it does suck. However, when you're trying to get the angels to help you, be in a position of honesty. You want to let them know that you're feeling sad, you're feeling burdened, that you need their assistance, and you would appreciate it if they would help. I'm being very proper right now, but you can say it in whatever way you want. Just make sure that and if you are feeling that way, ask them to help you. Ask them to shift your perception so that you can be in a position of being empowered and of recognizing your oneness with the divine, with all that is, so that you can start being in an energy that is in perfect alignment with what it is that you're trying to manifest, or what you're trying to bring in, okay? So that's important. So that is pretty much what I wanted to share with you on how you could start working with the angels, okay? Now, I want to see if there's anything else that I wanted to share, because I feel like when I was about to make this, I had something that I wanted to share specifically, and I forgot. No, I can't remember. It's that happens sometimes. This is why I try to write things down. But I hope that these tips have been helpful for you. And if you want to see one of the videos that I posted on one of my interactions with the Archangel Uriel, you could check that video out on my channel. I have that. That's a really interesting experience. And I also have other experiences with the angels that I want to share as well, because this is just one step towards working with the angels. Once you start really working with them and you get close with them and your intentions are pure and all of that, I'm telling you, they could really show up for you and give you some amazing support and insight, okay? So I hope that this video has been helpful to you. Let me know in the comments any of your experiences or questions. feedback, and I'll see you around for the next video. So I send you all my love. Take care. Bye-bye.